That's it. No more ducks. So I'm out in the field today leveling the area for our new 100-foot greenhouse, and it's taking a little bit more time than I thought. And I thought this would be a good opportunity to tell you a little story. I think most people like stories. I know I do. So there was a man named Harvey waiting at the airport for a ride, and a taxi pulled up, and the first thing he noticed that the taxi was polished to a bright shine. So the cab driver jumps out, runs around to the side of the car, and opens Harvey's door. Now at this point, Harvey notices how well dressed this cab driver is. He has a nice white shirt on, he has a black tie and freshly pressed pants, and the cab driver hands him a card. So Harvey reads the card, and it says, "I'm Wally, your driver. While I'm loading your bags in the trunk, I'd like you to read my mission statement." So the mission statement said, to get my customers to their destination in the quickest, safest, and cheapest way possible in a friendly environment. So this blew Harvey away, especially when he saw the inside, because it was just as clean inside as it was outside. I mean, this cab was spotless. So as Wally got behind the wheel, he asked Harvey if he'd like a cup of coffee. He said, "I have a thermos full of regular and I have a thermos full of decaf." So Harvey said, kind of joking around, "No, I'd prefer a soft drink." So Wally smiled and said, "No problem, I have a cooler right up front. I have Coke, Diet Coke, Pepsi, orange juice, water." Almost stuttering, Harvey said, "I'll take a Diet Coke." Handing him his drink, he said, "If you'd like anything to read, I have the Wall Street Journal, I have Time, I have USA Today, and I have Sports Illustrated." So as they pulled away, Wally handed him another laminated card. This one said, "These are the stations I get and the music that they play if you're interested in listening to the radio." And if that wasn't enough, Wally told Harvey that the air conditioning was on and asked Harvey if the temperature was comfortable. He then advised Harvey of the best route to his destination for that time of the day. He also let him know that he'd be happy to chat with him and tell him about some of the sights, or if he preferred, that he'd leave him with his own thoughts. So Harvey was amazed. He said, "Wally, have you always served your customers like this?" So Wally smiled into the rearview mirror and said, "No, in fact, I've only been doing this for the last 2 years. The first 5 years of driving, I pretty much did what all the other cabbies did and just complained about everything." Then Wally said, "It wasn't until I heard an inspirational speaker on the radio that really made me change the way I looked at things." He said, "If you get up in the morning expecting to have a bad day, that you rarely disappoint yourself." He said, "Stop complaining and be different from your competition." He said, "Don't be a duck, be an eagle. Ducks quack and complain, and eagles soar above the crowd. The eagle will fly to a high spot and wait for the winds to come. So when the storm hits, the eagle will set its wings so that the wind will lift it high above the storm. While the storm rages below, the eagle soars above it. The eagle doesn't escape the storm, it simply uses the storm to lift it higher. It rises on the wind that brings the storm." Wally said that hit him right between the eyes. He really felt that he was talking about him. "I was always quacking and complaining, so I decided to change my attitude and become an eagle. I looked at all the cabs and the drivers. All the cabs were dirty, the drivers were unfriendly, and the customers were unhappy. So I decided to make some changes. I put in a few at a time. When my customers responded well, I did more." So Harvey said, "I take it that that's paid off for you." Wally said, "It sure has. I've doubled my income from the previous year. And this year, I'm probably going to make even more than that." Wally said, "You're actually lucky that you got me today, because I don't wait at cab stands anymore. My customers make appointments and call my cell phone or leave messages with my machine. And if I can't do it, I have a reliable cabbie friend that will do it, and I get a piece of the action." Harvey thought to himself, Wally is phenomenal. He's actually running a limo service out of a yellow cab. Wally said, "I've probably told this story to over 50 cab drivers, and only 2 of them have actually taken this idea and ran with it. All the other drivers quacked like ducks and told me reasons why they couldn't do any of the things I suggested." Great service is a matter of choice. You can either quack like a duck or soar like an eagle. So it doesn't have to be about just service. It can be about anything. It can be about the way you act in certain situations. It can be about the way you handle your work environment. It can be about our life, our future. It's up to us to be a duck or an eagle on each one of these occasions. Which would you prefer to be, a duck or an eagle? Thanks for listening, guys.